First things first, my name is Ken Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Today we're going to talk about a little more on the new screen paint we got coming out today. Actually, it's already posted onto the website right now. I wanted to get it out so that way we have it on time for the ship out dates, which are coming up pretty soon. Let me see my remote control. Hopefully I got the right one. Yeah, I do. Let me make sure, because usually I get these remote controls mixed up all day long. All right, so now we got a different price on what we're going to charge for it. I'll put the price list at the bottom. It's much cheaper than what I actually was going to post it to be because I wanted to compare with the other person. And as I said before, like I said, when we do something, keep in mind, the reason why the lights are so more, let's say, not affordable, we're like cheaper due to the fact that it's a light screen paint, okay? Like I said, when you're developing blacker screens, darker screens, it's a lot that goes into developing these things, especially the exotics that have crazy colors to it. It's a lot of work. As I said before, I used to develop gray screen paints way back in the day. I've done it for years. And, you know, combinating this technology we have into that pretty much makes it a little easier because I've done it already. But also, too, it costs a little more because due to the fact that this stuff is, it has to go through, the coating on it has to be embedded pretty good because it's a lighter screen. But as you've seen from the results, the screen was able to handle projection screens that are supposed to be far more superior than the screen, including the Dark Star 9 and some of the darker screens and lighter screens that went against it. So price for 1 quart is going to be around $107. Price for 2 quarts is going to be 100. I think it's 123 or 126. Paints up to a screen size of 150 inches. And the price for 1 gallon, I think, is somewhere between 140. It's somewhere around that price. But I got to go upstairs and I wrote everything down on a piece of paper. Everything's marked up on the website. So I changed the environment because that's what I like to do when it comes to screens. I like to go in and keep changing my environments. This screen right here doesn't make a difference because the environment constantly changes as the day goes on. And it starts in the morning, starts at night, constantly the environment changes. So I took this out of that room, brought it in here so we can have some fun here for just a minute. And we're going to do a bit of a price comparison when it comes to the light gray screens. All right, so I'm just gonna play a little bit of this, and then we're gonna pop upstairs. I just wanna do a couple more videos on this. I'm always curious to see how this stuff is gonna react in different areas. Now we got it marked when you go into the website's description, and I do advise you to read through that, please. That in that description will explain the product, what you can paint it on, its spray on, its roll on, all that's in there. Also too, very important, it talks about the screen's black level capabilities. Very important, it points it out that the black levels are fair, but it's not going to be at a point where the image is going to fade or wash out, color's not going to wash out, none of that, due to the fact the screen has a 15 for the ambient light rejection technology embedded to it, as you're seeing it react right now. That's why we do these difficult, insane demonstrations on our screen paints to show you that we don't fit in anyone's category, and the prices that we give out for our products are more than what you can say generous. Consider the fact that these screens go against high-performance screens every day. So we're not doing this against another mix. We are doing this against certified projection screens that hold a lot of weight in the home theater projection world. That's why when I did the demonstration, usually when we do the demonstration on 1,000 lumens, we poured back 22 feet. But with this one, we did differently. This one we made it had to fight for what it had to get, which means we pulled that projector back 25 feet, as I said before, or 22 feet, and we put 100 watt, 130 watt light bulb in the center of that screen, which means this screen had to fight even harder. The black screens would have coasted through that with no problem, because they're designed to absorb in tons of light because they're darker. But this screen had to go through a different path. So we designed this one. We did a demonstration for that. That's why the 130 watt light bulb had to be there, because we had to make it extremely tough for the screen. Not only had to travel 22 feet across the room at 1,000 lumens, but when it got to contact to the screen, I had a 130 watt light bulb waiting for it. And I had to absorb that, take it in, and push that image right back out. And it passed with no problem. When we design ambient light projection technology, we design it. That knowledge that we get from God, yeah, we design it. Screens are designed to take in, even the light screens can take in more light than the average screen you will see in anybody's setup. These are all 15s. All 15s. Now blue would have an easier time taking an ambient light because it's a darker screen. This one on the other hand, like I said, God is quite impressive on the things he does. I gotta jog the stairs, get remote controls so I lose around the house. Now, this thing now is presto. Told you. We designed ambient light projection technology. It's designed to take punishment. See, when somebody opens up a door and they're trying to show off that this screen can take in ambient light projection technology, if this screen can take in light, nah. When we open up a door, we'll stick the screen in the door and do the demonstration. You see how my door is? Come on, look at this. That's how you do an ambient light projection door demonstration. That screen is supposed to be in the line of the path of the light that's coming through the screen, through the door. When I explained to you that when I seen that door open and the light faded, it got darker as it got to the screen, that's how you do it. You open up your door and you stick your screen next to the door. That's how you do it. When you see me doing stuff like that, that's the Lord telling me, show him what it can do. Show him what it can do. We're going to put the screen in the door. God always goes over and beyond. Read the Bible. Get time, sit down. You got some end time in the house. Read the Bible. See how God does things. He doesn't do things normally like everybody else does. He takes things to the next level. He does the impossible. So with a light gray screen like that, darker screens, yeah, we can see they can easily do that. But a light screen would have more of a challenge. That's why I did that demonstration. I put that light in the middle of that screen and pulled it back 22 feet on 1,000 lumens. I said, oh, we can shove this thing right out the door. God always does things on the next level. Well, let's go upstairs and let's do this price comparison. And like I said, you can do your research. You can go back and you can see how many people have done that demonstration, and you'll find that we're the only ones that have done it. That's how light that screen is. So let's go move this over to the side so I don't bump and knock over my projector and wreck it. Right there. Now, doing your math on the other screen paints, let me explain to you about the price. A lot of people think because the product, and I can't wait till we can get in there because I got some demonstrations to do in that room next. Everybody thinks the product, because it's $75, is cheaper. All right, so as I said before, you know, when this individual kept coming at us with his light gray screen, his light gray screen, his light gray screen versus a black screen, I said, not a problem. I'm going to have you make a light gray screen that's going to be able to topple his easily. And it'll do things on demonstrations that his screen couldn't even begin to even think of. And then I want you to charge a reasonable price for your customers, so they can see that they can get better quality for less. Now keep in mind, it comes to darker screens are always going to cost you more. That's how it is. But still, even with our technology, we even beat the top end screen. So for a screen that costs you $5,000, we've already beat those many, many times. So what would it cost you for this technology? Well, like I said, 1 quart, it's going to cost you $107. And that beat a screen of five or six certified screens from the door. Yeah, so we're talking about screens that cost $4,000 or $5,000. Cheapest one was $800. So we got that on backing that the screens actually can do that, no problem. And then that video demonstration just seen me shove that screen to the door. That tells you right there how much light it can take in. Now, some people like the lighter screens because they want those higher white levels, but they don't want to sacrifice the contrast. They don't want to sacrifice the color. That technology is not going to allow your screen to fade or wash out, even in a fully lit environment. If I can stick that thing next to a door, you can definitely have it in your home with no problem. Now, let's go to price here. So, his product will cost you $75 for a quart. And those who say that's cheap. Well, it's cheap, and you don't have to calculate shipping. Shipping will cost you $23. I paid for this product before. Altogether, it cost me $107, and that's including the shipping. And it didn't do anything what I just did in that demonstration a few minutes ago. The demonstrations alone on the technology by itself, and this is why I said tests are very important, because test proves your technology's capability. Excuse me about that. And it also proves its weight in gold when you test it against other high-performance screens. So if I can show my customers from a screen taking on a $4,000 or $5,000 projection screen, when the other customer, the other person who's designed a screen paint is not, and refuses to do demonstrations using contrast demonstrations, it just shows you where you stand. All right, so let's see here. You're talking about $75 a quart. Think about that one. $75 a quart. They're only sold in quart sizes only. So if you were to get 2 quarts, at $150 right there, 2 quarts. Shipping's not even included yet in that. So you still got to add in $23 on top of that, which would make that around 170 something, 173. On our 2 quarts for light gray screen paint, we only charge $128. All right, you want to do 1 gallon? Then you had to add a 4 times 75, and that's going to cost you $300. $300 plus your shipping, because all of it should fit in a medium-sized shipping box, would cost you around $23. A gallon of that technology that went against several certified screens, did the low lumen, high lumen, and all the other tests you saw displayed that they don't do, would cost my customers $148. And then you'll have some people saying, well, if you're going to charge $140 for that, how come you don't charge all your screen paints that price? Because certain screen paints cost a lot of money to make, a lot of money to make. So I have to charge for what I'm going to make for a profit for myself, how my customers are going to get a reasonable price, and how I'm basically going to be able to survive in this company. If I charge you cheap and I don't make enough money, then guess what? I don't exist. So that's how business works on that end. And consider the fact that if you figure that if you have to pay $180 or $200 for a quart of paint, that literally just beat a screen that would cost you $4,000. I think that's a pretty good price right there, a very good price. But going with the light gray screens, we consider the light gray screens to be our white projection screens. That's what we consider them to be. They don't hold, they have mates and contrast capabilities, as you can see, but next to black screens is a whole nother category of technology. But like I said, with it being what it is, this is the price we're going to charge for it. But like I said, when this individual is telling you you're only paying $75 for a can, you got to consider the fact it's one can. If you have to paint a screen size of 150 inches, that's 2 cans. That's automatically going to cost you $150. Then you got to consider that's not including shipping. If you're going to paint a screen bigger than that and you need 4 quarts of this, then you're talking about $300 right from the door. You don't think about that part. And then you have to turn around and you have to pay the shipping cost, which is going to cost you 23 or whatever dollars he's going to charge you. Now, I'm not going to go on his site and I'm not going to show you this, that, and the other because that's none of my business. But I'm explaining to you what it's going to cost you price point. Now I'll show you something real quick. These are the new labels right here already on the site. Now, I told you that anytime I do any pictures or anything, and nothing's Photoshop because all the pictures you see are affiliated with videos that I just done. If you go onto the site right here, it will name the name of the product, and here is the information sheet. Yeah, it's a lot there, but you need that because there's information you need to know on the product. Anything you see up here is stuff we already tested on the product. We already done. It's already there. So if it says 1,000 lumens right there, you saw it work on 1,000 lumens because you saw the live demonstration. So you can actually match it to that. It shows all different kind of projectors you're going to be using outside, but different projectors are requirement, different kind of rollers. You do not use foam rollers or requests. And it says right here, note contrast levels are rated as fair. Right there for you to read. There is right here, we told you we changed these specifications because usually other projectors require a certain specification of projectors. Works with non-name projectors, brand projectors, and which we do not recommend you use. So that policy is right there. You use it, you want to use it, it'll work on it. But if you're expecting for that image to look like somebody has a Sony or they're showing a name brand projector and you're expecting it to look that way, it's not going to happen. Projector doesn't have that capability. So all that's there for you to read. And then right there, we have right there with the COVID-19 warning right there. And basically only 1 quarts are not available. As a matter of fact, I need to go in and change this real quick because we got to remove this. Oh yeah, only 1 quarts are available. Okay, we got that. That's good. That's good. I'm going to make sure that was good. All right, buyer's policy, all that's right there. This is what you should be reading when you go to buy stuff. We put everything out in bold writing so you can see exactly what you're getting. And as you go to the pictures right here, it shows the screen, which is in my living room right now. And you've seen these demonstrations to back it up because you just watched the video and you just watched me put a screen through next to a door. So you know that's legit right there when you see those pictures. Because if you click on any of these pictures and you hit Google search, it'll bring you to the video and the video will show it live. And then it shows it with the lights out. For those of you who are curious to see with the lights out, we have that on there too. So like I said, everything we have on our site is legit and by the book. We have everything there for everybody to read. All the information is there. Anything you need to know about the product is there. What you need to paint it on is there. What projectors are going to be used with. And we have the pictures selected on basically matching all our live videos. There you go. All right. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to put this person down his site on how he set things up. That's his business, how he does it. But like I said, all his pictures are done in the dark. And like I said, majority of his videos are done in the dark. And when you're going to do light gray paint against light gray paint, not a problem. We have this product coming in. We'll run those tests too. It shouldn't be a problem. You just watch that screen go next to a Dark Star 9 and some of these high-end performance screens. So it's not a problem for us to go through that with no problem whatsoever. All right, with that being said, now you know exactly price point, because if he goes in there and starts ranting about something about, oh, it's screen paint costs too much money and blah, 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 and we're saving you hundreds. He calls himself saving you hundreds, but he has no test to back up his product at all. Period. No real test. So it's kind of the equivalent of you just going out and buying brakes that have no form of test polish underneath of it. You're just going to strap it up on your car, go down a hill at 90 miles an hour, and just crash off into the ocean. And look at this, the entire time, every time I'm having a conversation with you guys about my product, I'm always walking past something like a screen that's being used in a fully lit environment. You ever notice that? When you watch any of my demonstrations, you're always watching me walk through my house, and you're always seeing a screen somewhere in the house fired up that's being used in a fully lit environment. That's the projector that was on earlier today. That's 2,800 lumens. That's the portable projector I got for $34 on eBay. See, it's different when you got people who talk about their products. It's another thing, you got people who walk around their house and their products are firing up all day. Yeah. There you go. All right, well, screen paint's on the website. Already did the editing. I got to go order me more containers because this is going to bring in some. And I got to get out of here real quick. But just want to say that when you do the math, when you add it up, at the end of the day, that's $75 a quart. And if you need to get 4 of those, that's $300 for a gallon already from the door. And shipping costs is not going to be free. Over here, we pay for shipping. If I'm going to develop a gray screen paint, I want to make it a price that everybody can afford it because it's a gray screen paint. We consider that to be our white projection screens. We do. Even though the quality is better than a white projection screen, even though the quality is better than some of them $4,000 and $5,000 projection screens, we still consider that to be a white projection screen. All right, with that being said, I'm done for today. Thank you all for your time. I have to go. Paint is available on the website if you choose to buy it. I have to go, and God bless.